Hello, welcome to Sage Thyme. Lillian here with you today. Welcome, Cancers, for your Cancer reading in the Gemini season, which is May 21st to June 21st. And today I've already laid out your spread with the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck and the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. So I'm going to take a look at the overall reading. I've got some interesting mixed messages, and I know that I'm actually kind of excited that they're mixed messages because I know that they're being asked to come together in a specific way, which relates to something that you guys are up to, you Cancers or Cancer placements, or simply if this reading resonates with you. So let's do pull an overall card from the Spirit of the Animals deck by Jody Bergsma and see if that can give one wanted to come out and then it changed its mind. See if that can give us an idea with the animal spirit message. A bit of a touchstone. How are you, everybody? It feels really good to be able to do more succinct videos. There we go. How very Cancerian. And do sign videos now. Of course, not just sun signs for each one. You can see how it applies based on your house of Cancer and what planetary aspects are in Cancer. All right, 1 second. Love. Okay, we've got Penguin Animal Spirit. Like I said, very Cancerian. Family, devotion, loyalty. Let's see what it says here. I'm drawn to the background right away. It says, reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Be yourself. Okay, so what's standing out to me? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Is break free from others' expectations. Love your uniqueness. Be full of surprises. I'm drawn to what's behind the penguins. They've made a home, whether they're a family unit or a single unit of one person, or however a person's family looks to them. And for a lot of people, that's one person or their pets with them, or, you know. So behind them, I'm seeing, what would be the glaciers and the snow-covered ground. But it's beautiful, it sparkles, it's highlighting the aurora borealis, highlighting the beauty and the magic of something that is very desolate behind them. And then in discussing underneath, loving your uniqueness and breaking free of others' expectations. That's talking to me about, and I see it here in the reading too, going into really the deeper levels of what makes you so specifically you, and creating an expression of yourself that is totally new paradigm, totally taking something from what has been desolate in your life. So clearly you have been through, maybe you still are going through something that has really taken you into some difficult spots, in some desolate spots where you have felt maybe alone, even if you had people around you. And you're coming out of that for sure. I'm seeing that with the first two cards. Here we've got the Yang card. Now, Cancer in and of itself is not a Yang sign, but this is more indicating that not only are we in the Yang season, that this overflow is building up at a high velocity, maybe even a high pressure. You might be feeling an increase in activity, whether it's external activity and the world around you is moving faster and requiring a bit more, maybe socially, maybe. So I keep feeling like there's some abundance that is coming in for you, and that doesn't necessarily mean financial abundance, but it can most definitely. And whenever there's abundance, whether it's social activities, occupational activities, or just energetic moving through you, or having an abundance of money, there is a compulsion to go and do a return of health in a way that has not come to you in a long time. And that can feel overwhelming and delightful. So be mindful of that, even if it's subtle or if it looks like everybody else and you're thinking in this area of your life where this abundance is coming in, you're thinking, oh, finally I can move at a pace in this arena. Like, you know, the rest of the world, or what the culture says is to some effect a productive thing. Be mindful of that, because a couple things. You're not done doing your deep dives. And here we've got the deep dive card and the cardinal sign card. So here with the cardinal sign, Cancers are in fact a cardinal sign, which, to distinguish between mutable signs and the third type of sign is fixed signs. Cardinals are solid. They have a sense of conviction to whatever it is that they are holding true to. And that sense of conviction can give them an incredible amount of bravery. It says here, pioneering spirit, instigation. And you can see here that the hand is lighting a match. This is your flame in the darkness that you have already been in. And so I am feeling that whatever challenges and weighted obstacles in your heart and in your mind, that it's most definitely translated into your outer world to a good extent. Whatever that is, that you have really devoted yourself to deep diving in, and you're doing it to care for yourself. I mean, sure, maybe there are external influences that are prompting you to be devoted to this deep dive work, but I'm really feeling that the heart of it, of your purpose and your intention, has been very devoted to yourself. And that's extraordinary, absolutely exceptional. And that can't always be said of everybody. And I think that that's why I'm seeing here on the deep dive, I mean, yeah, this person is going deep and dark, looking into what is difficult to look into, but they're doing it with this incredible glow just right outside their form. The sheer rainbow spectrum, like almost like a little force field that's taking them down and not necessarily lighting their way, but keeping the soul of them protected in their own light. And that's just gorgeous. I'm seeing so much deliberate intention in this, and my heart just gets a little verklempt over it. And so I love that. And it's paying off. You're seeing the rewards. You're getting little ignitions of flickers of ideas of what you're going to do with the gems and the treasures that you've discovered in the deeps in the depths and in the dark. And here we've got next to the cardinal sign, the Neptune card. Dream and transcend. This, so Neptune is the ruler of the sign of Pisces, another water sign. And Neptune is connected with, it's that idea, so within as without. And the deeper we go within to investigate the crevices and caverns of our inner universe. And, we reach those firewalls right before we're about to get to the treasure chest. To use kind of I'm thinking of like video games. They're all set up the same way. You're going and you're checking and you're doing your thing, like Mario Brothers, a real common one. And you got challenges, but right when you get to the very end of a level, you face an insurmountable beast or something. And what's required of you in the obstacles is really amped up. Generally in the video games, your little character will die a few times, and then after a while you get it and you overcome this insurmountable beast because you've done it enough times, and you win the level. And then you go and you run along and you touch on this little flagpole or platform stand, and that's it. You've completed the level. There's no needing to go back anymore. The lesson has been learned. You can go back, but when you do, you're like, oh, this is cake. I got this. I've already done this. This is not even hard anymore. I can't even imagine why it was so hard in the first place. Well, Neptune is talking to me about how when we do that on an inward level, it takes us, not only do we get the treasure chest at the end of the obstacle level of that level, but then it like shoots us onward and outward and upward. So the deeper we go within into the underworld, the further out the heavens unfold for us. And that's Neptune. He likes to voyage us on the seas of the cosmos, and it can feel like a dream. And it is, but no more than the dream of our world, our lives. It's just a different flavor of dream, it's so much further out. And in that place, with such new laws of physics and paradigms of utilizing that treasure that you just uncovered and the ones you already carry with you, it's a whole new platform on how to utilize your gifts. And in that far out heavenly dreamland, you're able to transcend what might be something like, let's say you're a talented gardener and landscaper. You can not only do the work, but you can vision it. You can go into people's yards and just imagine, a wonderland with what they have and create something beautiful and sustainable. And that is amazing. But when you reach a certain point in your journey and you've worked past certain challenges and so forth, then you're at that point where you're thinking, how can I take this further? Do I need to choose something different? And that's when you go deep and deep enough that it shoots you out to the outer regions of heavenly seas, and you transcend who you are based on the gifts that you found in the depths. And so being a gardener in this reality, then you find in the Neptunian dreamscape world, there's a leaf blower. It's kind of distracting me. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll try not to get distracted. But you can transcend those gifts into something that is so innovative, so unheard of, paradigm breaking. And that's the being able to open yourself up to those possibilities and open your eyes and your thoughts and and your heart and your beingness to things that have never been considered before. That is bravery. That is incredible bravery. And here, okay, I see now. This is pretty great. So if you can see it in the card, here's like the watery seas in the sky, but then below it is the ocean and the shore. So moving up through into the seas of the heavens. Exactly what I was just saying. Yeah, awesome. Okay. And right after the Neptune card here, we've got Horseman, Herald of Change. So this is something that I feel you are really exploring right now. And maybe currently it's only coming in as little flashes, or ideas, and maybe you're talking yourself out of it or thinking, how would this even work? I really encourage you to let it come in and just watch it unfold in front of yourself. That is the bravery that you're being called to do, is to allow what's presenting itself to you to do so in a way that, instead of trying to take this paradigm shifting aspect and possibility for yourself, and instead of trying to take it and put it into how will that fit into the world now, let it come in and let it show you. And maybe it won't tell you the whole story, and most likely, in fact, that would be your challenge, to follow the course and the directive of the universe as it presents itself to you, step by step, moment by moment. And the more you do that, you'll most likely get sight of where you're moving into, more little puzzle pieces of it. But part of the fun of this adventure that I feel like you're being guided towards, and the light that is beaming you forward, is really coming from within. And again, it's just surrounding you on the outside. It's not necessarily shining its light on the path before you. It's saying, let's do this differently. Let's take this journey, instead of following a path, why don't you go deep? Dive in. And then here's your wall. Here's your obstacle. Now, you can look at it as something obstructively abysmal and something to be maybe frustrated about, or just, not looking forward to having to deal with it. Or you can look at it like in the video games. Okay, I've got this beast or this creature or this skill requirement or this face-off with a part of myself. In fact, I see here, this is looking like a keyhole here for me today, and there's like a moon on the other side of it. And I'm seeing in the keyhole an image of, right, kind of sitting before the keyhole. I don't know if you can pick it up in the camera. I'm not seeing it in the camera, but I see it here, of an individual. And that's you standing in front of you in a different version, a different form, a different mask. Excuse me. And so you are, a part of you is creating yourself in a way that, as an obstacle, in a way that knows it's going to challenge you, the pursuer, you, the deep diver. And, it's you creating a game and obstacles for you. So keep that in mind when you can. Allow it to be one of your ripcords when things feel too deep, too intense, psychologically, emotionally, when you're going through a passageway of, these deep dives, and you lose orientation, which is part of the process of where you are and who you are and what you claim to. Let that occur, and remember that you are all of it, and you are directing and guiding this, which means you are keeping you safe. So keep going, take heart, and know that you are, of course, you are your best advocate. Your higher aspects, your spiritual self, is going to look out for you better than anybody. Is going to look out for you, the incarnate self, better than anybody in the world around you, right? You are your own family. And there's the lights with the Aurora Boreas. So even if you have a supportive and loving community or chosen family or birth family around you, or you don't, know that you as an advocate for yourself are always your best angel, best support system, and best counsel, right? Okay, so then let's try to get these last couple cards through. The next two cards that came out were the Dream Thief and the Unmarked Trail. Now, we've already spoken about this. In fact, it's kind of just coming through as a confirmation of what I just said. You know, whenever I used to see this Dream Thief card, I would get really frustrated. Like, I had ill feelings towards this creature. But today, he is looking like, kind of like the sweet little cute snotty squirrel in the yard that, you know, takes all the nuts from the birds when he can, and he takes them for himself, but he's doing his role. He's doing what he's meant to be doing, and he's raising the requirement for the creatures around him. So yeah, he's a dream thief. But here again, there's so much color in this card today than I've ever seen before. And that's telling me that's you. And that's the design of a being, an energetic entity or consciousness that you've created to be your obstacle. But you flourished him with rainbow light. I mean, golly, that's amazing. Number 13 there is the number of death and transformation. Unmarked trail leads to the best revelations. And that's what you're doing here. And what's up at the top of this is also what's down. So try not to get into your head too much about what's what. In fact, let the brain bucket thinking mind just take a very long hibernation during these times and simply be the witness. And allow yourself to be in wonder of the feelings and thoughts that arise and the external circumstances, even if they are pressurized and seem like something that you need to task to and attend to. If you are meant to attend to something, everything that you need shows up, including the intellectual understanding of how to take care of it, the resources. It simply works that way. And if that's not showing up, it doesn't mean that it won't, but it does mean that there is an inward journey that has to be done. And once that's done, you'll know, you feel complete. And when you come back to the interactive world around you, the reality around you, everything shows up that's supposed to. And if it doesn't, it falls apart, it falls away, and you get to learn the process of relinquishing and releasing without that emotional, like, attachment ripping away of the Velcro pieces. And the more you do that, the more things that fall apart and fall away are like, yeah, I might tug on my heart a little bit, but okay. Moving forward, moving on. And then the last card here is House 12. The 12th house is the house of death and transformation. It's akin to the death card in the tarot. And here the words are spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. You know, sometimes I think of House 12 as, trial by fire, but in truth, it is a Scorpion is housed originally in the 12th house. And Scorpio has to do with that deep dive, that deep darkness, the transformation that occurs under pressurization. You think of coal over time and pressurization becomes this incredible diamond. It transforms itself, not by having any new ingredients, but by succumbing to the laws of nature and what the natural world around it is requiring based on what it needs and what is in your design. You placed yourself there. If you feel okay considering that as a possibility. And I'm seeing all these things. So I'm seeing this watery, almost like a little island or a giant stone, and I'm thinking of like the island of Babylon when you go across the lake. Is there in the distance another dimensional reality? And what's being left behind is all this debris that I feel were attachments. The feather, you know, something that you claimed to that was beautiful and lovely in the shell, and having to let go of these things. The cage, you know, the thing that housed you and maybe protected you and gave you comfort is now really a cage, whether that's your career or anything. It could be anything. So stepping beyond that and getting on the little raft to go across the lake and through the mists into the unknown of the next world that is yours. And that is, boy, you know, that is the adventure, the quest. And so in some form or another, you've been in it. You have already been seeing results, and there may have been times where you're questioning it because it's new paradigm stuff. And when we hit totally new, unlike anything anybody we know understands or knows about, it's reasonable to question it. I think a rational mind is a good balance to surrender and openness. But let that balance be an observation, not a dictation, and enjoy it. Enjoy this ride. I would love to hear what is coming up for you. If you feel comfortable sharing, what have you been experiencing in this deep dive, and what treasure chests and what gems have been surfacing for you? Even if you don't exactly even know how to express it, give it a try. I love to hear in the comments what's going on for you. And thank you for the likes, the subscribes, and your energetic presence of kindness, loving compassion, and celebration for yourself and for all of us here. Have a wonderful Gemini season, Cancers, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Blessings.